On a quiet hillside just outside Edinburgh, Scotland, stands a small stone chapel that continues to attract historians, researchers, travelers, and curious visitors from around the world. At first glance, Rosslyn Chapel appears to be another beautiful medieval church. Yet the moment people step inside, they notice something unusual. Every surface seems alive with carvings. Faces stare from hidden corners. Strange symbols appear where they should not. Delicate patterns cover pillars, arches, and ceilings. Some images are familiar. Others seem completely out of place. For more than 5 centuries, people have debated whether these carvings are simply decoration or part of a much larger puzzle. Why would a small chapel contain thousands of intricate symbols? Why do some researchers believe messages were intentionally hidden within the stone? And why are people still searching for answers hundreds of years after the builders are gone? Tonight, we journey to Rosslyn Chapel, a place where history and mystery meet, and where every carving seems to ask a question that no one has fully answered.
A chapel unlike any other. Rosslyn Chapel began as the vision of a powerful nobleman named William Sinclair in the mid-15th century. Scotland already had churches and cathedrals, yet Sinclair wanted something different. The structure he commissioned was far smaller than many famous religious buildings of Europe, but what it lacked in size, it made up for in astonishing detail. Skilled craftsmen spent years transforming ordinary stone into an elaborate work of art. As visitors walk through the chapel today, they quickly realize there are carvings almost everywhere they look. Angels appear beside plants, vines twist across ceilings, biblical scenes share space with mysterious figures. No two sections seem exactly alike. Historians estimate that thousands of individual carvings decorate the interior, creating one of the most visually complex religious buildings in Scotland. Yet the sheer number of symbols raises an obvious question. Why invest so much effort in details that many people would never notice? Some researchers believe Sinclair simply wanted to create a masterpiece that reflected faith and craftsmanship. Others suspect the carvings served another purpose entirely. The deeper visitors look, the harder it becomes to dismiss the possibility that the builders were communicating something through stone. Unlike many medieval churches, Rosslyn does not reveal its meaning easily. It invites observation. It rewards curiosity. Every arch, pillar, and corner encourages people to stop and search for patterns. That sense of discovery is part of what makes the chapel so compelling. 5 centuries after its construction, people continue arriving with cameras, notebooks, and questions, hoping to understand why this small building contained such extraordinary complexity. The legend of the Apprentice Pillar. Among all the stories associated with Rosslyn Chapel, none is more famous than the tale of the Apprentice Pillar. Inside the chapel stands an exquisitely carved column that immediately draws attention. Spiraling upward, with remarkable detail, it is considered one of the finest features in the building. According to local tradition, the master mason responsible for the chapel was searching for inspiration for the pillar and traveled abroad to study designs. While he was away, his young apprentice reportedly experienced a vision of the completed column and began carving it himself. When the master returned and saw the finished work, he was overcome not with pride, but with jealousy. The apprentice had created something more beautiful than anything the master could have imagined. Legend says the master struck the apprentice in a fit of rage, killing him beside the very pillar he had created. Whether the story happened exactly as described remains uncertain. Historians continue to debate the details. Yet visitors are often surprised to discover that the chapel itself seems to preserve the tale. Faces carved into nearby stone are said to represent the apprentice, the grieving mother, and the guilty master. Standing before the pillar today, people find themselves looking at more than an architectural feature. They see a human story involving ambition, talent, pride, and tragedy. The legend has survived for centuries because it feels timeless. It transforms stone into something deeply personal. The Apprentice Pillar reminds visitors that Rosslyn Chapel is not merely a collection of symbols. It is also a place filled with stories passed from generation to generation, stories that blur the line between history and folklore.
The symbols nobody can fully explain. If the Apprentice Pillar provides the human drama, the chapel's countless carvings provide the mystery. Throughout Rosslyn, visitors encounter strange faces emerging from leaves and branches. These figures, known as green men, appear more than 100 times throughout the chapel. Some are smiling, others seem watchful or solemn. Their presence has puzzled researchers because the green man is often associated with ancient nature traditions rather than Christian worship. Why would so many appear inside a religious building? That question is only the beginning. The chapel contains unusual geometric patterns, symbolic figures, and carvings whose meanings remain uncertain. Among the most intriguing are a series of cube-like symbols carved into arches. For years, nobody knew exactly what they represented. Then a father and son research team proposed an extraordinary theory. They believed the symbols corresponded to musical notes, and that the builders had encoded an actual melody into the stone. Using the carvings as a guide, musicians reconstructed what became known as the Rosslyn Motet, a piece of music that may have remained hidden for centuries. Whether every aspect of the theory is correct remains debated, but the idea captured imaginations worldwide. Suddenly, the chapel was not merely a building filled with carvings, it became a potential message waiting to be decoded. Other symbols continue to generate discussion among historians and visitors alike. Some believe certain carvings contain spiritual lessons. Others see references to forgotten traditions or lost knowledge. What makes Rosslyn fascinating is not that definitive answers exist, it is that so many questions remain. Each symbol invites interpretation. Each carving creates another possibility. The chapel becomes less like a monument and more like a puzzle whose pieces may never fully come together.
Why people still search for answers? Most historical buildings eventually settle into accepted explanations. Rosslyn Chapel never quite does. Every year, researchers revisit old theories while new visitors arrive with fresh perspectives. Some are drawn by the artistry. Others come because they have heard rumors of hidden meanings buried within the stone. The chapel has been connected to countless theories over the years, including stories involving secret societies, lost treasures, and hidden knowledge. While many of these claims remain speculative, they reveal something important about human nature. People are naturally attracted to mysteries that refuse to disappear. Rosslyn offers exactly that. The chapel never provides complete certainty. Instead, it presents clues, possibilities, and unanswered questions. Modern technology has allowed researchers to examine carvings in greater detail than ever before, yet new discoveries often generate even more debate. Visitors frequently leave with different interpretations of what they have seen. One person notices a symbolic face hidden in a corner. Another becomes fascinated by the musical code. Someone else focuses on the green men scattered throughout the building. The experience becomes personal. Each visitor follows a different trail through the mystery. Perhaps that is the true secret of Rosslyn Chapel. The building itself encourages exploration. It transforms observers into investigators. More than 500 years after its construction, people still arrive hoping they will notice the detail that everyone else missed. Whether the chapel contains hidden messages or simply extraordinary craftsmanship, it continues to achieve something remarkable. It keeps people asking questions. Rosslyn Chapel remains one of Scotland's most fascinating mysteries, not because anyone has proven a grand secret exists, but because the possibility continues to inspire curiosity. Thousands of carvings, enduring legends, unexplained symbols, and centuries of speculation have transformed a small chapel into one of the most intriguing places in Europe. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not hidden within the stone at all. Perhaps it is why generation after generation feels compelled to search for answers there. If you enjoyed this journey into one of Scotland's most enigmatic landmarks, be sure to subscribe to Tilt and Chill and join us as we continue exploring remarkable places where history, mystery, and local legends still capture the imagination today.